Good afternoon everyone. In last video we were talking about the ligaments of the wrist and hand complex. So we we were discussing about the intrinsic and extrinsic ligament. So next two ligaments are volar carpal ligament and second is dorsal carpal ligament. So first in volar carpal ligament it includes two type of ligaments, which is radiocarpal ligament and ulnar carpal ligament, which is known as the volar carpal ligament. Now these ligaments will composite the volar radiocarpal ligament. Now it has three bands. So first is radioscaphocapitate, which is also known as the radiocapitate, and which is short and the long second is short and the long radiolunate, and third one is radioscapholunate ligament. So volar carpal ligament includes two ligaments. First is radiocarpal ligament and second is ulnar carpal ligament. Now these ligaments include three bands. So first band is known as the radioscaphocapitate ligament, which is also known as the radiocapitate ligament. Second is short and long radiolunate ligament, and third is radioscapholunate ligament. Now radioscapholunate ligament is mainly useful to stabilize the scaphoid. So this ligament will stabilize the scaphoid bone into its main position, and it will and also prevent to move the scaphoid bone into the excessive range. So it will stabilize the scaphoid bone, and it will also disrupt the disruption of the causing the it will also disruption causes the scaphoid instability. So if this radioscapholunate ligament is injured or it has some weakness or something else, so because of this the scaphoid bone instability may be occur due to that. Second is radiocollateral ligament. So radiocollateral ligament is extension of the volar radiocarpal ligament and capsules. So it is mainly the radiocarpal. It is attached with the radiocarpal ligament. It is extension of the radiocarpal ligament, which is known as the radiocollateral ligament. So second is ulnocarpal ligament. So it complex which composed of the TFCC, triangular fibrocartilage complex, which including articular disc as well as the meniscus homologue and ulnolunate ligament and ulnar collateral ligament. So TFCC complex triangular fibrocartilage complex will include articular disc, second is meniscus, third is ulnolunate ligament, and fourth is ulnar collateral ligament. So it is made up of these four structures, and this TFCC will make the ulnocarpal ligament complex. Second is it is all about these are the volar carpal ligaments. Now second into this there is two volar intrinsic ligaments, which is mainly useful into the wrist function, like wrist flexion extension and wrist ulnar radial deviation. Now first is scapholunate interosseous ligament and second is lunotricutal interosseous ligament. So these both are the intrinsic ligament. First is scapholunate interosseous ligament and second is lunotricutal interosseous ligament. So first scapholunate interosseous ligament will be useful for maintenance of the scaphoid stability as well as to wrist stability. So it will maintain the scaphoid and wrist joint stability. And second, lunotricutal ligament, which will maintain the stability between the lunate and tricutum bone. And also this both ligament will be into the stretch position during the wrist extension. So into the wrist extension, this both intrinsic ligament will be into the stretch position. Second, this is all about the volar carpal ligament. Now we will talk about the dorsal carpal ligament. So dorsal carpal ligament will include dorsal radiocarpal ligament, dorsal intercarpal ligament, and this both ligament will make a V shape. This both ligament will form a V-shape horizontal V shape. So it will contribute to and why it is what's the use of this horizontal V shape structure. So it will useful for the radiocarpal stability, and it is also stabilize the scaphoid during the wrist range of motion. And dorsal ligament is mainly it is mainly going for the tight position during the it is mainly going for the it is mainly going to into the stretch position during the wrist flexion ligament. So during this the dorsal carpal ligament will be into the stretch position. So it includes two dorsal carpal ligament will include two ligaments. First is dorsal radiocarpal ligament, and second is dorsal intercarpal ligament. And these both ligament will make a horizontal V-shaped structure, and this structure will mainly helpful for the radiocarpal stability, and it will also stabilize the scaphoid bone during the wrist range of motion. So I will show you the one structure in this. They include all the ligament and all the intercarpal ligament. So we will see that ligament. I will send this PPT, and then you can check on that. And now, what are the function of the wrist complex? So next topic is what are the function of the wrist complex. So first is movement of radiocarpal and midcarpal joints. So how it will move? So into this proximal carpal will act as a mechanical link between radius and distal carpals and metacarpals, to which the muscular force are directly applied into the intercalated segments. So during into the movement of the radiocarpal and midcarpal joint, what happen? So the proximal carpal bones, which are act like a mechanical link, and this is between the radius and distal carpal. So proximal carpal bone will act like a mechanical link between the distal radius and ulna and the distal carpal bones. So it will act like it will also act with the metacarpal bones, into which these muscular folds which are applied during the wrist motion, it will directly apply into the intercalated segments. Now what will happen during the wrist flexion extension? So during this movement into there is a three proximal carpal bone scaphoid, three proximal carpal bone, in which the scaphoid bone has the greatest motion, and it will and the lunate movement moves least. So during the flexion and extension of the wrist joint, what happened? The proximal carpal bone, into the proximal carpal bone, the scaphoid bone has the greatest range of motion. It will move more in compared to other two carpal bones, and the lunate bone will move least in compared to other two carpal bones. Now what happened? The movement of complex from complete flexion to extension are, so during the wrist full wrist flexion to full extension, what happened? So during this, into the full wrist flexion, the distal carpal row will move on the proximal carpal row. So during this movement, the distal carpal bones will move onto the proximal carpal bones, and the scaphoid and the distal carpal moves on the lunate and triquetrum. So scaphoid and the distal, so scaphoid bone and the distal carpal bone will move onto the lunate and triquetrum bone. Now carpals as a unit will move over the radius and TFCs. So whole carpal bones as a unit, they will move onto the over the radius in the triangular fibrocartilage complex. So into so this process will occur during the flexion and extension of the wrist, and into extension and flexion the reverse procedure will be occur. So this is all about the function of the wrist complex. Now next is radial and ulnar deviation, that we will see into the next video. Thank you.